new weather video. Your host Alvin Kamau. As yes, January's went by really quickly. It was a cold month as well, so you're probably like, Alvin, do we have any milder weather as we head towards February? I'm here to answer that question by looking at temperature trends from the Climate Prediction Center, as well as looking at our La Nina pattern and what that might mean when it comes to precip in the month of February. But please note before we get started, those temperature trends might change just a little bit. So looking at something different in the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and this goes from February 1st to the 3rd, and you can see some above normal temperatures favored over parts of the U.S., especially parts of the southeast, and even us just by a little bit in parts of Missouri and Illinois. Now, our normal highs for this time of the year are going up as we're beginning the year in the upper 30s to lower 40s, but that doesn't mean anything until we look at these temperatures. And yes, during this period, we might have some milder temperatures, and I mean mild because we're in winter, but we could also have some reinforcing cold fronts that come from the northwest. Does that mean moisture somewhere in the U.S.? We'll just have to see as we go on, but that's where the La Nina pattern comes in. I'll show you in just a little bit. But what I mean by fluctuations in temperatures and some reinforcing cold fronts is, yes, we could have milder temperatures in the month of February, but we could also have some cold air that comes behind it. And this is shown really clearly in that 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. So yes, we're going to have some milder temperatures, don't get me wrong, and that's nice compared to what we dealt with this January. We're trying to melt snow. But we could also have during the month of February some colder weather that comes behind it. So that's definitely something to monitor. That could be something for some that haven't gotten to see snow just yet. But we also have to look at our La Nina pattern. Where is it more likely to get some precip, either rain, snow, or maybe neither? It really depends on how this plays out. And you can see it's more favorable east and southeast of the St. Louis area. That's where we are more likely to see some precip during the winter. So parts of Illinois, parts of Indiana, those are the areas more likely to get some precip. And I'm not being specific on it because it could be anything. It could be a little bit stormier or a little bit snowier, or maybe neither of that. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on really closely. And yes, St. Louis, don't get me wrong, we are covered by above normal precip just a little bit, but it's more likely in that La Nina zone, I like to call it, because that is the areas that could be dealing with some above normal precip. So definitely something to monitor. One thing I really like about this map also is you can see those areas that might be a little bit drier than normal during the month. And if you didn't notice, a couple of days ago, parts of Houston, New Orleans, even parts of Florida got some snow. So it could be the other way around as we head towards February, where they're drier than normal, but for us in parts of Missouri and Illinois, maybe a little bit more above normal precip. But this could mean a slightly stormier pattern. We have to look at the precip and then look at what the temperature trends are telling us to figure out how this is going to fall out of the sky as. It could be snow, it could be rain. We'll see what happens. But of course, this is something to monitor not a day from now, but during the month of February. So let's hope it doesn't go too fast as January did. But of course, it's also a quick month, the shortest month of the year. But of course, February is also going to have a lot of great things for me as I'm making weather videos, these green screen forecasts. I'm also going to be able to meet a lot of weather enthusiasts next month. So that is definitely going to be a sight to see. You can see all that action as well as outdoor weather reports, especially when I'm not able to upload over on my Twitter page. The link will be down in the description. So please be sure to follow me on there because it takes a lot of minutes and hours to get this done. So that's why you definitely want to follow me over on X, just in case there are days where I'm not able to upload. But until then, hopefully this video sums it all, that yes, there's some things to monitor in February, but if I didn't answer your question all the way, here's your answer. Does not look like February is going to be a repeat of January. So we don't have to worry about cold for weeks and weeks on end and school closed for weeks. We don't have to worry about that. Yes, a milder month, but we're also going to have some reinforcing cold fronts. And the big question is where that moisture is going to come with it, of course. So that's definitely something we have to monitor really closely. But until then, Missouri and Illinois, I hope you have a great start to your week.